The universe knows how special your birthday is, number 4, because that was the day that the universe decided that they could not go on no more. Okay, bars, numerology mixtape dropping this December. Y'all go cop it. What's up, everybody? My name's Mandy. Welcome to my channel. I just want to thank all those who've recently subscribed to my channel. Welcome. In the description box below, I do have a website where, of course, you can get a personal reading from me. And thank you to those who have recently purchased readings. I appreciate you all so much, and thank you for your support. I wanted to go ahead here today and talk about the number 4. The number 4 is that earth energy. It's energy that is much needed here in this world because all those dreams and visions, it takes all of those things and it puts it into material. It puts it into actual structure here in the actual world. So the number 4 in Vedic astrology is Rahu. Rahu is the point in space where the equator crosses the moon's orbit, and it's a planet that's constantly in retrograde. It's spinning what would appear as backwards most of the time, but the characteristics of Rahu is very materialistic, very structured, also one who's very about logic and dependability, and it all, like I said, it represents politics. It's like politicians and very, very secretive. Ooh, 4s are very secretive too. I hope I ain't getting nobody in trouble out there. So pretty much it's that position of power. And one thing I will say about a 4 is if you have a 4 as an employee, as any kind of partnership, whether it's a business partnership, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, you have a loyal, faithful, reliable person for life. That is the reality. Now, one thing I will say about earth energy is everything does move a bit slower for them. So one thing about the number 4 is they know how to pace themselves. They are the master manipulators of time. If you have a 4 who's an employee, they'll start from the very bottom and work their way to the top. You know, they understand that life is a slow and steady for them, but they also know that their hard work will always pay off. And if you're a 4 and you don't know that, I'm here to tell you yes. Just because you see everybody around you winning and living their best life, so to speak, it's there for you. It takes time for you to accumulate that wealth, because once you do attain it, it's meant for you to respect it and just know that's what you worked hard to attain where you're at in life. Like I said about a 4 being great in partnerships, if you're married to a 4, whether a man or woman, you have a reliable, faithful, committed spouse who is going to be reliable, who is going to have old-fashioned traditional family values, and they're going to be the best parents. Like, 4s make the best parents. If we want to sit here and talk about a number 4 energy, let's talk about the queen, Beyonce. Let's talk about Beyonce. Born September 4th. Not only is she just a Virgo, that's that earth energy right there. Look what Beyonce did. She came from a middle-class family, and she worked her way up to the top until this day. Anybody else has anybody else topped Beyonce? I'll wait. But like I said, yes, they're going to be really good. They're really going to be good with their family. They're actually people who keep to themselves. They are not crowd pleasers. You're not going to see a 4 trying to put on and show out for everybody. They keep to themselves, and they keep their circle super duper small. That's why I said if you have one, they have a few select friends, and I'm pretty sure 4s have had friends since they were out in the front yard eating dirt together. That kind of relationship is with a 4. Like, it goes back from early childhood, that kind of thing. But yeah, they keep their acquaintances small. They're not out here trying to show out. They don't want to please people, you know, that kind of thing. One thing I will say though is they are about that material. They're about success in life. They want to succeed. They're actually very frugal when it comes to their finances. They believe in investing in themselves. They love structure and routine. So you're going to have somebody who, like, for example, let's say a 4 wants to go to Europe or Paris, just want to travel abroad, and they know what steps it's going to take for them financially to get there, whether it's cutting out lunches and bringing their own lunch to work, no coffee or Dunkin' Donuts, no Starbucks, boo-boo. They know how to restrict themselves. They believe in investing in themselves. They believe in just investing their time and money just wisely. So the number 4 also represents the 4 human functions. So we got emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental. A 4 also can be a person who could be a realtor, like I said, with having to do with actually home. if I go to astrology real quick, guys, y'all know I like to use astrology here and there. It just goes hand in hand with each other. Why not? So the fourth house in astrology is ruled by the moon, which is Cancer, and that has a lot to do with our home. So the four walls, the four structure has a lot to do with that four energy as well. So these people also might be homebodies, and like I said, they make great realtors. They sell great real estate. Four energy is also really creative. Think about that earth energy paying close attention to detail. They would make great fashion designers. In fact, the fours I know usually can just put something together and just make it look so good. Something you would have never thought would go together, a four puts it on you like, make note of that next time. They even would make great fashion designers because, like I said, that special attention to detail all the way down to the last button, baby. Right, so let's go ahead and talk about some negatives of the number four. At times they can be too materialistic. At times, even though they usually are hardworking, the flip side to that is they could be very lazy and also look to others to take care of them instead of them being the provider. A lot of the times fours like to put people, they label people, they put people with labels. Like for example, let's say we have a woman who's a four, well, and she's married. Well, she's gonna label her husband as provider. He is provider. And the moment that hubby don't provide, all hell finna break loose. Basically, they have such high expectations of themselves because fours know that, hey, I put in the work, I've been here, I've worked my way from the bottom to the top. You know, like, what's your excuse? What's your problem? When they're just projecting onto you. And the reality is number four is not everybody's going to be on your level. And we do know that you have the mindset of slow and steady wins the race, but not everybody has that. And not everybody has your work ethic as well. So just remember that. But those are usually some of the negatives there of the number four. If you're born on the 13th day of the month, you are one who has the gift of being the most adaptable person. One that anything that life throws at you, whether it's sudden change, which 13 is considered in Western and other countries, in China and things of that nature, they believe in the number 13 is to be an unlucky number. But the reality is we don't believe in that over here, because in the occult and mysticism, 13 is in the tarot the death card, which is the rebirth and transformation. So these people know how to transform themselves. They know in the time of sudden change or when things happen unexpectedly, they know how to bounce back from those things. So, and with that 3 energy, it gives them the optimism to be able to just knock out anything that life does throw at them. And they do know and understand that everything that does happen to them happens for a reason. So you'll find these people to be very highly spiritual as well, whether if they're into, you know, the occult or mysticism, or they could just be into Christianity. It's usually black and white with these people. There's no in between. It's either all or nothing with them. So they're usually people who are highly opinionated as well and really stuck in their ways. There's really not much you can do to change their mind. I will say that about a number 13. Have just this way of being very creative, and their art and creativity is one that also inspires people and motivates them and makes them feel good. They have a joyful, lighthearted, bubbly mentality about them as well. I'm a Destiny 13-4, so that definitely resonates with me as well. Like I said, with that 1 and that 3 energy of the 13, you're just going to have somebody who is very fixed on their goals, and they're dead set on achieving them too on high levels. They are so creative in the aspect that they can make great party planners, because they also have that intuitive, there's an intuition about them that they know what kind of makes people happy, what brings people together, like what lights people up. So they make great party organizers, great wedding planners. They're also great web designers, people who work with structure and computers. Very smart with that 3 energy. 3s have a very precious mind. And to go along with the fact that they are people who are used to just being able to be problem solvers and quick on their feet, and they like to be in an atmosphere where it's constantly something different. They don't need repetition, because that will be very boring to a 13. But to go along with that, they actually are people who are risk takers. Like, they believe in stepping out and just grabbing those opportunities as well that I spoke about earlier, because that helps them learn life, you know, helps them to learn their life's lessons in a more practical way by, you know, just jumping out there and being that person who just takes those risks. These people are also trendsetters. They are the ones who influence change in a positive way. Like, honestly, to do that change and that influence, nobody really does it like a 13. I believe they are actually just magical people if you're born on the 13th day of the month. And also, some negatives with the number birthday number 13 is that they could struggle with their confidence, and they could struggle with finding their individuality in the world. A lot of the times with the, you know, when I say they're risk takers and they're out there looking for all the opportunities, sometimes they could sleep on themselves and really be scared. Like, they lack that self-confidence to jump out there and put themselves out there. A lot of the times they just let life pass them by, which, don't do that, 13, please. We need your magic here. A lot of the times, and a lot of the times they can cling on to things. They can cling on to things that don't longer serve them, whether it's jobs or relationships and all those things that are just not really good. So another negative for the number 13 is that at times they could take unnecessary risks, like not even think about it and put like either their family or themselves in danger. Like for example, let's say that the 13 decides he or she wants to make some fried chicken tonight for the whole family, and you bite into it and it's bloody, that kind of thing. So you could get people sick. You know, just really fast. They're fast, and they move fast. And like I said, just taking those unnecessary risks. Sometimes they just got to slow down just a little bit, because they can cause harm to themselves and others. So that was another thing that came to mind here as well that goes along with the number 13. Now we talk about the birthday number 22. If you are born on the 22nd day of the month, you are by far the rarest, most unique gem that we need here on this universe. You are an exceptional person. You are the master builder. You have 2 times the energy of the master number 11, which gives you that earth and that fire energy. And a lot of the 22s, if you had to think about structures or buildings or things that are like spirituality, sort of like the pyramids in Egypt, that gives the 22 kind of energy, or the great churches or cathedrals and things of that nature. It's just the master number 22 people have this gift of just intuition, and they're people who believe in their dreams. It's like they can feel and they can see their dreams happening as if they're already happening before their eyes. So they feel those things as if they're really real. To go along what I said with that, you know, being the double 11 kind of ordeal, they're also able to have that gut feeling and that intuition that helps them to be able to relate to others. So they're like, so you have somebody who's going to be an amazing listener. They're going to listen to you, you're going to be heard, and they're going to have that empathy. They're going to feel where you're coming from. That's the best people to talk to as a 22. These people are major humanitarians. You'll see them working in charity work or even working just for large organizations. They also are people who love taking on that responsibility. Like with 22 master number, I feel like all the master numbers, 11, 22, 33, those numbers take on a lot of responsibility. But for the number 22, they love it. Like they love taking charge. They love having that extra, you know, that serious role. So you'll find them in partnerships and like I said, in large organizations where they work with these companies or these people for long periods of time, because they're great with partnerships. Like I said earlier with that 4 energy, all 4s are great in all partnerships, whether it be business, whether it be, you know, intimate, personal friendships, great in all partnerships. They'll have that longevity, and they'll be reliable people that you can just always count on to be there for you no matter what. They feel it's their sole mission in this lifetime, in this carnation, in this 3D, to make the world a better place before they leave. And that means by creating wealth for others, making sure that their family foundations are right, that the family themselves have the wealth. 22s are just a really amazing people. I do have a story time. So my mom is a life path 22-4. She's a master builder. And when I was little, I loved me some McDonald's. In fact, today I had me some McDonald's today. So I just thought of the story when I was going through the drive-thru. My mom, I always got a cheeseburger, and she one day opened it. Like, I guess she had a gut feeling to open the cheeseburger. Well, if my mother, the Life Path 22, did not open that cheeseburger, I wouldn't be here with you guys today, because she found a pin in it. So yeah, pretty much she found like a needle or a pin in it, and it was, You know what I mean? If she would have never had that gut feeling, I would have ate that, because I wasn't finna open the burger. I'm a child. All I care about is my Happy Meal toy and my cheeseburger. So that was just something that came to my mind today when I was going through the drive-thru. I was like, yo, my mom saved me from a needle pin. Now, okay, so we'll go ahead here and we'll get into some negatives. A lot of the times, since they do know how to play on other people's emotions and tell them what they want to hear, they can be very manipulative and very dishonest at times just to get what they want. In some other cases as well, I do know that they can be very lazy, because I know they're hard workers and they like to take on serious roles and all those other things, but sometimes they could just be lazy or just leave their work for others to complete. I'm trying to think what other negatives. Since they are hard workers, a lot of the times 22s can be workaholics and they can completely neglect their health. That's one thing I definitely do know. So those are just some of the negatives here. Or yeah, it can be overly materialistic too, but that's usually with all fours as well. So that is the master number 22. So if you're born on the 31st of the month, you are a person who was blessed with the gift of courage. You are here to basically knock out your goals and your mission in the most dynamic way. There is no stopping you. However, in your approach, it's very down to earth and it's very practical, and you are a person who is truly about humanitarian, being for the people kind of thing, and you will always fight for the underdog. So you're a person who just has this way of just basically being a trailblazer and a pioneer for a lot of people. You know, you're the originator, and baby, everybody just tries to be some duplicators, but they can never be you. You're a true trendsetter. So for example, let's say you start a business, let's say you start a coffee shop business, I don't know, something random, and your coffee shop business does something that's really dynamic and different and just brings in all kinds of different people. Well, maybe the people down the street who have their little coffee shop or whatever the case may be, or word gets around town because you are that popular, because you do things on a big scale, because that's that Jupiter energy. People will, you know, be people like, let's see how that coffee shop did it. Okay, we gonna do a little something different. So that's what I mean. Like, you're just a trendsetter. That's all. These are people who are extremely highly intelligent, because Jupiter with that 3 energy, they're very, very smart. But with 3s, one thing I will say about them, at times they can be serious, but a lot of the times they want to make things playful. So if you're a 31, you may find yourself in a place or a line of work that doesn't really feel like work, maybe more like playful, maybe like a journalist of some sort, or a DJ because it's music and things like of that nature. Somebody who is just really a free spirit, so to speak, but don't get it twisted. 31s definitely can work for major corporations. They can create, you know, politicians, lawyers, all those other things as well. One thing I will definitely say is with the 4 energy, as I mentioned earlier, it's a very creative energy. So these are people who are very aesthetics. They're all about aesthetics. So even in the way that they dress, it may be very aesthetically pleasing, or in their home or in their house, they have like these fine arts and paintings, and just, it's a very luxurious aesthetic appeal that 31s usually have. And like I said, to go along with it, they can be fashion designers. They can design clothing lines or anything having to do with the fashion or the home. And also, like I said, with that 3 energy, because 3s tend to be able to be great multitaskers. So these people are amazing at balancing their family, work, and social life. And they're very, very organized. Like I said, they like to approach everything in a practical manner. All right. So yeah, one thing, and then another thing, like I said, the number 31 are definitely here because they're major humanitarians and they really want to fight for the underdog. So that's another thing about 31. That's super positive. Now to flip, so now to focus on some negatives. 31s can be, like I mentioned, since they're so well at being able to prioritize their social, work, and family life, a lot of times they can scatter their energy so much that they don't get anything done. Or another thing a 31 can do is, for example, they can have a goal to, I don't know, wash the car. Let's say it's their goal to wash the car today. Well, they'll go ahead and get the bucket and the soap and the hose and they'll fill the bucket up, but the car never gets washed. Sometimes that can happen. What is another thing with them? Ooh. So since 31s are quite popular and well known because of their trailblazer and pioneer skills, a lot of times that can go to their ego. So they can be them people like, do you know who I am? Do you even know who I am? So that could be another thing too, like, do you even know who I am kind of thing, who, ooh, a lot of the times if they're working on something and they don't feel like they're going to be able to attain it or accomplish it, because remember I told you they like to accomplish everything in a dynamic way. It's Jupiter, it's a grand scale. If they're not able to complete it, one thing I definitely encourage all 31s is, hey, take a break. Stop what you're doing, walk away from the project and revisit it later, because I promise you'll feel way more refreshed. And then with your little trailblazer, smart, innovative self, you'll be able to figure out how to get it accomplished. So that's, of course, for the birthday number 31. Another thing that the birthday 31 can do, one last thing here that's a bit of a negative, because they do have so much courage and they do know that they're amazing, a lot of them don't. A lot of them will lack courage. A lot of them will chicken out. Let's say you're taking one skydiving, they're like, yeah, we got this, we gonna do it, and then they don't skydive. I think that would be me. Anyways, yeah, a lot of the times they don't know their true gifts and their courage and that trailblazer mentality about them. And one thing I want to say, if that's you, I want to come through here and shake you like a yahoo, because you're at 31 and you're phenomenal. Well, that concludes our birthday number 4. I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell so you are notified whenever I do upload another video every week, because we back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Once again, thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.